Should have started.
Yo,
Should have started.
Hey, did you get that? Did you get
Yeah.
Should
have
Yep,
started.
hey, I'm leaving that in the video, bro.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that in. Well, I know. Or I need to send you. Hey, where's my camera? Hey, Pete, yep. Hey, Pete. As soon as we said that, he said put me on game. I know. Oh, bro. Yo, welcome back to Gumball Sports Machine, where we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive. And we got a special show for you today for y'all, man. Jesus Christ, if I can speak English, we have a special show for y'all. We reacted to the game live. It's halftime. Minnesota Timberwolves are up by 10, 59-49. It's halftime. Lakers are on the brink of elimination. And we're reacting to the game live while, of course, talking about some other things. And of course, I got some company with me, man. As always, I got my OG, my unc, my dog, my brother, OG Tone, OG, Unc. What's the word?
Squad.
Squat. Sorry, I thought that was going to be a continuation of that. All right. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Oh, okay, so now I don't look completely dumb. And next we have, one of the co-hosts for a long time, somebody who's been part of the podcast for a long time. He is a visionary. He is a revolutionary. He is David Largo. D-Lo.
Low.
How you doing, man?
Oh, never been better.
Attaboy.
Look at those Wolves about to win, just like I said.
Oh. Get those Lakers out of there.
I became a Wolves fan overnight. That's crazy.
And last but certainly not least, we got somebody who has also been a part of the show a long time, who roots for the wrong teams, who is very intelligent, who can build things on his own.
Whoa.
Kevin.
He's like, nah, I don't want to come in the show like that.
Kev, what's the word, fool?
I'm about to get real racist.
Wow. Whoa.
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 You start the first line?
That's all right. Have you seen?
We're live, We're live.
Gentlemen,
we're definitely fighting for views because, inside the NBA's and you're going to say some craziness like that.
That's right. Hey, this is better than inside the NBA. We're more work.
Oh, no, they got very heated yesterday.
Oh,
very heated yesterday.
Sounded like Maul against Maul, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's exactly what that sounded like.
Hey, both of them played for the Phoenix Suns. That's all I'm like. Both of them played.
Did either one of them win anything?
And on to our first segment of the day. We're bringing it back. And from now on, something to chew on. Something to chew on. We're bringing it back. Our first segment of the day, the segment where we run through some of the top stories of the day before we get to the big story of the day. As you see, Unc over there eating his oatmeal.
He's chewing on something.
Yeah, sure. Perfect timing.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I like that you bringing something to chew on back. We ain't done this in a minute.
It's been a little while.
It's been a long minute.
All right, fellas. The NFL fines the Atlanta Falcons $250,000 and Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich $100,000. His son is the one who prank called Shedeur Sanders on draft night. So again, unacceptable. I don't know how his son even got a hold of that number. I don't know why Jeff Ulbrich had the number. He's a defensive coordinator. But the question I want to ask you guys, is that enough? Is it not enough? Or is it just right in terms of the punishment and fine that the Atlanta Falcons and Jeff Ulbrich got left? David Largo.
I think the fine is okay for the team. Um, I think that Jeff Ulbrich, it's not enough. That man should have been pack your bags. You're out of here. It's unacceptable. Especially considering that he don't even play on that side of the field at all. You know, you're strictly defense. Um, First off, why do you even have Shador in his number anyway? You know, I feel like that should be on GM and head coach, and those are the only two guys that should have that number. Because you have no business whatsoever talking to Shador in no world. Especially as again the defensive coordinator. If he was, you know, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, or head coach, whatever, I'm sure. Um, but not only that, but then having your son get a hold of it and having him do the prank. No. Yeah, if I was the Falcons, I would have sent him packing. I'm sure that there are plenty of qualified guys that could be a defensive coordinator in the NFL, and I just think that there's no room for that.
Real quick before we move on, before Tone, we get your thoughts. Who just has their volume on the loudest possible volume it could be on? It's just who is blasting whatever they're listening to.
It's definitely Kev over there.
I'm starting to, Kevin, you have AirPod. Do you need to listen to the game? You just have it on the loudest possible volume.
Bro, the TV is like right next to his face.
Can you please mute the television?
I'm trying to watch TV and do this as well. I'm trying to do multitask.
Yes, you're trying to watch that. You don't need to listen. Can you mute the television, please, brother? Goodness gracious.
I cannot see the mute button. That's the problem.
All right, Tone. What were your thoughts? Do you think the Falcons and Jeff Ulbrich, their punishment was enough?
Honestly, I do. I would say the money, yeah. I think that I don't think he should have been booted off the team. I think maybe like a 2, maybe 3 game suspension, just because you want to kind of let everyone else know that this is, like D'Lo said, it's something that you just shouldn't happen. And so you kind of want to make a point. I think that was a large sum of money. I mean, the owners have it, the team has it. I'm sure that guy, the owners probably slipped him to him like, hey, I know you made a mistake. Here's half or something like that. But I think the 2 game suspension would have been noticeable. Like all the coaches, everyone, all the staff would have been like, oh, shoot, if this happens, then there's potential for me to actually miss out on some real money. But,
Kev, my bad.
No,
my fault. Oh, Kev, what you think?
I think it was the right fine. I think it wasn't anything too major, only because no one really got hurt. No one, no one got harmed in any way possible. It was just a little childish by his kid. And I get it. Prank calls, it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to, get laughs here and there. But when you're messing with someone's future and someone's expecting a call that can change their life, I understand. It's a life changer, especially getting called into the NFL. So for him to get that call and for him to get his hopes up, only find out it's a prank, it can, change his attitude for the rest of the day. But I think the fine was fine. I think it wasn't nothing too extreme to the point where you need to dismiss him from the team.
I'm with you. It's
someone's actually wanted to add on.
Well, I was going to say, can I add one thing?
Yeah, I was pointing at you.
I thought you was dancing for a second. I was.
Tone was looking at you like,
hey, was like a call? Is he okay? But I want to say I seen something that they said that this was like actually the NFL made a lot of money through the situation with Shador, and so I will say that prank call probably amplified the situation because of the publicity, the social media run. It just made a lot of noise behind it, and so it's an unfortunate situation. But I bet you there's a lot of fortunate situations within it.
Yeah, there was There was definitely a lot of attention, which I think drew the money in. I think it's just unacceptable. I mean, Jeff Ulbrich, first of all, how are you irresponsible enough to let the phone number slip and give it to your son, who is also a 21-year-old college student, by the way, 21 years old.
He's not a
This
kid.
is not a 14, 15-year-old kid. This is and you are messing with somebody's life like this. I think it's unacceptable. I think the fines were just fine. I just this can't. The NFL has to make sure that this never happens again. And Shador wasn't the only one. It happened to Shador. It happened to third overall pick, excuse me, Abdul Carter. It happened to 14th overall pick Tyler Warren this year. Yep, it's unacceptable. These kids are. This is the biggest day of their lives, and this is what's happening.
The same kid did it?
No. Other people.
What?
Yeah, unacceptable. The NFL has to find a way to get this done.
But
gotta
when
hand out
it
cell
comes
phones.
to that, though, like, it's not like I don't know this, right? But Shador went out and bought a completely different phone and only gave this number to NFL teams specifically for this purpose. I don't know if Abdul Carter did that. I don't know if it's number 14. I don't. Thank you. I didn't hear the other name that you said. I don't know if they went out and did this to the extreme that Shador did, right? So they may have just had a regular number and people have that number, right? But for it to be a personal, like, I bought this specifically for this day and only gave this number to this team and this team, for it to then get leaked after just buying it, that's the part that's unacceptable to me.
Yeah, it's something has to be done. Something has to be done. The Pacers beat the Bucks yesterday, 119-118 in overtime to clinch the series. The Pacers move on to the second round to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Has Giannis played his last game in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform, Tony?
Yeah, I believe so. I said this about a week ago. I kind of seen this about to happen, and yeah, I mean, and I think with the Dame injury, it just makes it obvious. Like he can't, they can't move Dame. They don't have enough money to get anybody else, and so he really doesn't have any other options unless he just wants to go down with the sinking ship, which it looked like Dame was doing in Portland, and now Dame ended up in this situation. It just looks bad for Milwaukee. It's unfortunate with the injury. It's unfortunate for Dame because he's likely going to be over there in Milwaukee by himself. But yeah, I believe so.
Kev, what you think?
About Giannis being gone, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking soccer, man. Come on.
Come on, dog.
My bad. I was looking to see if Luke was coming back into the game or not. My bad. I think I agree with Tones. I think he's gone. These last couple of seasons, especially after when they won the chip, they haven't really done anything to improve on that. They haven't been able to get back into the finals. So it's I know going to the finals in general is a hard thing, but when you are a championship team, you should at least contend for the ECF, and if not, have a better chance to go to the finals, and they haven't done that. They made moves. They traded away Chris Middleton, his longtime teammate, and they brought in Kuzma, who hasn't done anything. And if you watch the whole series, I mean, Giannis has done pretty much everything. Except yesterday's game, Gary Trent played well, but other than that, they just haven't been able to help him. He had 33 points yesterday, Ton, so I should point that out.
12 for 30. 12 for 30 something.
He was still the leading scorer.
I'm not going to sit on this topic for too long because I've already spoken my mind on this. If you haven't seen it, go watch the other episode where we were talking about it. But I mentioned, just going to summarize, Dame probably won't come back next year. And if he does, he's not going to be the same player. So if they're not going to be able to move off of him, and the only other person that they can move off of is Giannis. So I think that Giannis is gone.
Yeah, I think he'll be back next season. I just don't know for how long. I think he will start next season on the Milwaukee Bucks. I just don't know how long. That's the question.
Think he'll be gone by the deadline? Is that what you're trying to say?
I very much think he could be gone by the deadline. I think he could sit. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think he's going to be there for very long. I think his days as a Milwaukee Buck are numbered. Speaking of that game, Giannis and Tyrese Halliburton's father get into it. Get into an altercation after the game, screaming battle. They get in each other's face. Kev, what do you think? What do you make of the situation?
I think it was just in the heat of the moment. You know, the game just ended. You know, his son moved on to the next round. The gentleman sweep the Bucks. I think it was just in the heat of the moment. He was just so fired up. He got into his face. Um, he came out after and he apologized. I don't know if Tyrese talked to him because in the interview they actually interviewed Tyrese and Tyrese is like, I did actually disagree with my father in that situation. So I don't know if he talked to him afterwards and that made him apologize after, but he came out and apologized. So I think that was a mature thing to do.
D'Lo, what'd you make of the situation?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Giannis in this stance. And if you watched his post game presser, he was talking about how, he likes to be a humble guy, and when he wins, he shows it, not with a bunch of smack talk, but just being humble, congratulating everybody, and moving on, right? And there was a lot of just antics at the end of the game, especially from someone that isn't even on a team, right? And Tyrese even came out, like Kev said, I don't agree with what my dad did, and I've already talked to him about it. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again. But yeah, just not something that we should tolerate in a game.
Tone, what do you think of the whole thing?
I agree with the last part of what Lo just said. Somebody who's not in the game shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't have that kind of access to the players. You never know how the player is going to react. You never even know if the player knows that that's family from another player, so they may react differently. Just puts everyone in a bad predicament. But I will say that I think Giannis kind of overreacted as well. Like, I feel like if Giannis would have reacted differently, then the situation doesn't get as big as it did. But again, they're both grown men, and so you never know how.
But I mean, the man just lost. I mean, just let him be. Like I'm surprised he didn't even like get back at him for even getting his face.
But I mean, like for me, I've seen Giannis react to certain things that he's done in a fashion that maybe somebody else doesn't appreciate. But I don't hear like I remember when he and Jaylen Brown got into it, and he did what he did, and then he spoke about it in a fashion that people was like, "Man, grow up." And Giannis was like, "What do you mean, grow up? I have kids. I'm a big kid." But somebody else was like, "You might have hurt me," but that's how he reacted. That's how he does it. Like, and I didn't hear Jaylen Brown go on it was just like, man, that's how he is. I'm moving on. To me, Giannis kind of dwelled on it and was crying a little bit. Then he got when they had the little conflict after the initial situation, and they were like headbutting each other. I'm like, damn, Giannis, why are you so angry?
Yeah, I think Tyrese. I'm not sure what his name is, but Tyrese Halliburton's father. I think should have just put himself in Giannis' shoes. He lost a playoff series. He's devastated. He's already upset. That's not a good way. That's not a classy way to go win a basketball game or win a series. I understand Tyrese Halliburton is your son. You root for him. That's a-okay. But you have to be able to respect Giannis is a human being. Forget the basketball player. A human being. I think that was the biggest thing to me. Lastly, former Florida State quarterback Jordan Travis retires due to his severe leg injury. If you are a college football fan, Jordan Travis was the quarterback for Florida State 2 years ago when they went undefeated, and then he got hurt. He suffered a severe leg injury. I think it was a torn ACL. But tore a bunch of different ligaments, and so Florida State was snubbed out of the playoff, and they didn't do much after that. He was drafted by the Jets the following year, and he didn't even play. He was on the Jets for 1 year, had to retire today to his injury. But the question I want to ask you guys: what other athletes do you remember having to retire this early due to an injury, like due to injuries? I mean, Jordan Travis is 26 years old. And so when you look at athletes that that famously retired early, you look at Luke Kuechly, you look at Andrew Luck, you look at Navarro Bowman, guys that just retired really, really early, really, really young. D-Law, what do you make of this?
Yeah, man. It sucks, especially after you just achieved your dream. Most of these guys, their goal is making it pro. And the fact that he doesn't get to step on a field and prove that what he's worth, that kind of sucks. Um, I was thinking in terms of NBA because the moment you asked that question, my mind immediately went to Brandon Roy. Just
Yeah, another good one.
certified hooper that was cut short. And everyone always has the what ifs. Um, him and Greg Oden, if they stay healthy, what do they do with LaMarcus Aldridge? So um, that's the first guy that my mind went to for sure.
Tone, what about you?
Yeah, it was him when because I had to think about retiring early after the injury, right?
Yeah.
It's a little different than like a Derrick Rose situation,
Yep.
even like a Penny Hardaway or Grant Hill. And so I think that he brought up the two major ones that I can think of from basketball, and I just wouldn't know enough athletes from the other sports, to be honest. So yeah, it's the B. Roy is definitely the one that I can remember. Like you said, he was a bucket. That team was elite. They were actually, I want to say, top 3 or 4 in the West at the time, and they weren't even in their prime.
Kev, what you think?
I just think it's sad and heartbreaking only because, like Dilo said, you work your ass off from high school to college to make it to the pros, only for it to cut short after getting drafted due to injury. And it reminded me of a couple of football players, like RG3 was one of them. He got that really severe injury after his rookie year, and he never looked the same after. And another guy is Calvin Johnson due to concussions throughout his career, and he had to retire in the middle of his prime. Um, Everyone was shocked by that, but at the same time, injuries and lifelong, the CTE and all that stuff, like it's pretty bad after football life. So it's better to get out of it before it's too late, and it could derail your brain or your life afterwards.
That is something to chew on. The segment that we're bringing back for every episode from here and now on. The segment that starts the show that we go over all the topics of the day right before we hit the big topics of the day. Next, now let's move on to basketball. The Lakers are losing. They're down by 5 right now, 64-59. Third quarter with about 8 minutes to go. Rui Hachimura just hit a 3. Let's react to the first half of this game, boys. Tone, I know we all watched it. Tone, what do you think of the first half?
I think that the Lakers don't have enough. I would love to be biased and just blame Luka and my guy Braun's age. But I really like just looking at this team. I don't think they have the right pieces, so I'm not just gonna blame Luka solely. I really don't think they have the right pieces. I mean, obviously they don't have the continuity. It's not like this team has played for an entire season to have that experience, that playoff experience together. It kind of stinks, honestly, because again, you got Braun and one of the top, I'd say 10 now, best players in the league right now, and yeah, they're getting smacked around. Honestly, they're getting smacked around. And AE he has Robins, but I don't think anybody's picking them as their Robin. If you had a superstar right now, we were doing a draft league, and you said you get to pick anybody for your Robin. I don't think anyone's picking anybody that's one of the Robins on Minnesota. And so what AE's doing is actually special right now.
Kev, what'd you think of the first half of this game?
In the first half of the game, the Lakers have been struggling to contain Rudy Gobert. And it's due to the fact that they're playing a 3-2 zone for most of the first half. And every time that they would try double Anthony Edwards, he's always feeding it to the paint. And Rudy's just destroying anyone that tries to get underneath the rim. most of the times it's Luka trying to contain his Rudy Gobert out of the paint, and it's not working out. So if that's the game plan, double Anthony Edwards, and hopefully it works, it's not working out so far, and that's the reason why they're down right now. And the Timberwolves are not even hitting their threes at all. They're struggling from threes, and they're up right now. So that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, 6 of 34 from three right now. They are not shooting, and 42% from the field overall. D'Lo, what'd you think of the first half and up to this point so far?
Yeah, it's the same thing I mentioned last time. The Lakers just don't have enough offensively. The Wolves are shooting really awful tonight, and they're still down. They can't go and score on the other end for whatever reason. Call it Minnesota defense, call it just not hitting your shots, call it whatever you want it. They just can't put the ball in the bucket efficiently enough to have a lead when a team is shooting as awful as Minnesota is right now. And I think defensively, Kev pretty much summed it up to a T. They are so focused on containing Anthony Edwards that Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle are having a field day on the offensive glass. And it's leading to some easy putbacks, most uncontested putbacks that you'll ever see. So while it's working on containing Mr. Edwards, it's not working literally to stop the offensive rebound threat, especially considering that they don't even have a big man on the floor. Rebounding was already a struggle for them. So JJ Redick is trying to find something, and it's just not working.
If I would have came in here, right? If I would have came in here and said Rudy Gobert would be the best Timberwolf in Game 5 of a closeout series against LeBron and Luka and the Lakers, I would have got RKO'd through a table. Rudy Gobert has been fantastic. He's 8 of 11. He already has 10 boards. He has 18 points. He is playing some phenomenal defense today. And here's the thing about the Lakers. The Lakers, the biggest thing to me is, to the pieces point, the biggest thing to me about the Lakers is that they're not balanced. They're not balanced enough. Here's what I mean by say that. They have some really good defenders who can't play offense, and they have some really good people who can go put the ball in the basket who can't play defense. Austin Reeves, LeBron, Luka, really good offensively. Really good offensively. Couldn't stop a parked car.
I was gonna say LeBron's been pretty good this series. This series.
Yeah, today he hasn't been very good.
He hasn't.
And then you have guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, Maxi Kleber even got into the game. I mean, but you have guys like that who, again, very good defensively, can sit down in the chair, couldn't throw it in the ocean from a boat. And that's what you're getting tonight. It's not like they're playing bad offensive or defensively. They're playing good defense. They're trapping Anthony Edwards. Now I think that's caused some of the havoc that the Minnesota has wreaked. But I mean, they're not, like you guys mentioned, they're not shooting very well from the field. They're 6 of 35 from three. They're 24 of 57 from the field, 42%. I mean, and they're shooting 70% from the line. They're not shooting the ball very well. I mean, the Lakers actually they aren't shooting the ball very well from three anyway either. But Rui has been very good today. He's been really good today, and they're only down by 7, so this game isn't over. But
he was good in game 4 too.
The scary part is Anthony Edwards hasn't gotten it going yet. He is 0 for 7 from 3, 3 for 10 from the field. He has 10 points.
That's what the game plan is, though. If you watch, he's just chucking because the Lakers are playing small ball, and so that you can see they're just getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. I don't know why JJ decided to play this small ball game 5 when it's a closeout game.
It doesn't make any sense. Jackson Hayes has not seen the floor.
And I think the thing is that if you've watched the rest of the series, the Timberwolves turn it up come late third quarter throughout the entire fourth quarter.
Yep.
They've done it every game this series. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again and this game ends up in a 20-point blowout. They will eventually get the ball in the basket, and when they do, it's going to be wraps.
That's the biggest thing, man. I think the Lakers, they're gonna have to rely on their defense, and that's not saying a lot. They Anthony Edwards, he just got another bucket. I mean, he saw Luka and immediately eyes got big and took it to the basket when he got a bucket. Now Lucas came back and got a bucket himself, but the Lakers can't go back and forth. They just can't.
Yeah,
They
you
have to
can't
get
trade.
they have to get not one stop, consecutive stops. Consecutive stops. And the little bit of success that they did have early in the game came out of transition, getting the ball off the rim and running, turning the ball over and running. So that's what you're gonna have to do. I mean, Minnesota has 8 turnovers. They have 8 turnovers. Now the Lakers have 12. That's probably another reason why they're losing this game. But you have to get the ball and run out in transition. That's where the little bit of success that they got came from earlier. So this now we'll react more to the game as the game goes on. Right now it is 70-66. The Timberwolves are up by 4. So again, this game is live. We'll react to it as it goes on. But fellas, there was another game earlier today. Warriors and Rockets game 6. That game wasn't necessarily close. The Rockets absolutely came out of the gates frying. Just coming out hitting threes. Getting out transition. They made 15 threes today. They actually put the ball in the basket. They had 131 points today. They were just good all around. I mean, Amen Thompson was fantastic today. Second on the team with 25 points. He had 5 steals in the first half. In the first half, he had 5 steals. Pickpocketed Steph. Dylan Brooks with 24 points. He shot efficiently from the field. Alperen Sengun was quiet, and they still won by 15. He had 15 points. Fred VanVleet has been hot going back to last game. He had 26, shot 4 for 6 from 3. Jalen Green only had 11. But I mean, they didn't need him to do a lot. They relied on their defense for the most part. Steph Curry had 13 points. 13 points. The Warriors
Jimmy was just as bad.
Everyone only played like 3 quarters. The Rockets had to come back in the game because the Warriors bench cut it close.
That fourth quarter, the Warriors were catching up to them.
Yeah. It was a 30-point game at one point, and they came in and got it to under 20, I believe 14. They cut it down to, but eventually the Rockets did end up running away with it. So now that series is 3-2. Kev, what'd you think of that game, man? It's not much to talk about that game, but do the Rockets have a chance going back to Game 6, going back to the Bay?
That's the question that is very hard to answer, only because they have just been so inconsistent when it comes to shooting the ball. Fred has been, like you said, he's been on fire in today's game and the last game. But you need someone like Jalen Green to be like, hey, I'll be the shot creator. I'll get us a bucket, because that's what he's there to do. He is, in my opinion, is the best shot creator, and he's been very inconsistent. You can't have that as being the main shot creator. You really can't. But defensively, they played up phenomenal today. They did a phenomenal job against Curry, against Jimmy, and that's what you need to do. You need to get some stops and start getting shots of your own, and that's what they did today. So if they can continue that going back to the Bay, it could go to 7. But if not, I think going back to the Bay, I think Steph and Jimmy might have something to prove, and I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for them.
D'Lo, what do you think? You think your boy Steph closes out, or do you think they gave Houston a chance?
Yeah, I really got 2 points on this. When I picked Rockets to win this series, this is the play that I imagined from them. This is what they've looked like for a majority of this season. Playing defense and getting out in transition, and that's their game. And I feel like them getting in this hole, they got away from that, and they went back to it. And you see the results. They got a commanding win. Obviously at home, the crowd is going to play a factor into it. So we'll see if they can get it done in the Bay, but. I don't know if I can imagine them doing it in Golden State. I think that Golden State closes it out in 6. But unless Jalen Green has a master class and isn't putting up, anything less than 15. Um, my other point for this game is it was the fourth quarter. Obviously, Jimmy and Steph didn't play the entirety of the fourth quarter, but the bench had cut it down to 13, and there was like 7 minutes left. And I just have to question it because as players and watchers of the game, you kind of look and you kind of question coach's decisions. Why did he not put them back in? Right? You're down 13 at this point, and you have the best shooter in the world, and you also have one of the best playoff risers of the past few years, and they're sitting on the bench, and you're down 13. At that point, I feel like Steve Kerr should have said, "Okay, this game is close enough to where I can put you back in, and we can close this thing." And I think that he messed up, and then Houston put their starters back in, and it got away from them again. Obviously they weren't playing that great, but if there's anybody I trust to go out and cut that lead after the bench cut it down to that much, it's Steph and Jimmy. So it kind of leans into my question of what was Steve Kerr thinking in that moment when he didn't put them back in the game.
Well, with Steve Kerr, he's always done that. Whenever they're down big and the bench even sniffs a comeback, they let him ride with it because the reason why he does that is because they brought him back. Let them continue to bring them back. Now, I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's where I believe Steve Kerr is coming from. But real quick, before Tom, before we get your thoughts, I do want to mention our picks on this series, the Houston and Golden State series. We got I had Golden State in 6. Tone had Houston in 7. D'Lo had Houston in 6. Kev had Golden State in 6, and Kyson had Houston in 7. Tone, after today's dominant, really runaway win, does Houston have a chance to come back and win this series?
I do. Honestly, I forgot that I had Houston in 7. I thought I had Golden State in 7, so now I feel a little bit better. I will say this, that anything is possible when you have Steph. Oh, to respond to your statement, Lo, I think that one, I agree with Maul that this is typical Steve Kerr game plan once they are kind of out of the game, because it's more of a rhythm situation. You want to gut the guys who've got you back in the game, keep the rhythm. I did see Steph pick up his ankle braces right at that point, but I think part of it is, I mean, even if you're playing rec basketball, you sit out a game and you're that cold, sometimes you can get hurt because your muscles tighten, anything. You can, And so these guys they're playing professionally. They sat out for like 8 to 10, 12 minutes from that third period to the fourth. It's kind of just doesn't make sense to put them back in the game. One, you're taking away from the rhythm of the guys who got you in the game. And then, if one of those guys get hurt, now you're looking at a bigger situation. But to move on to, I think Houston actually has a chance. I do. Defense wins championships. Right now, you're looking at a hindered Jimmy. I'm looking at the guys who have been consistently scoring for the Warriors, and honestly, there's no one. Steph Curry has been struggling because of the way the defense, Houston's playing defense, and I'm like, I think this was a boost of confidence for them because Houston was up big. They allowed the bench to get them back in the game. So I'm sure that starting lineup, 6th and 7th man, they're going to be really confident and feel like they can win this next game, and it's just one and done.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you go back to Golden State and you win one, and you win Game 6, you then have Game 7 at home in Houston, a place where the Rockets were 29-12 this year at home in the regular season, and everybody knows anything can happen in the Game 7. So that's really what you want to do. If you're Houston, one game at a time, one quarter at a time, 1 minute at a time. Win the next minute. Because if you do that and you win every minute, you go back to Houston and anything can happen in the Game 7. Quick update. On the Minnesota and Lakers game. Dorian Finney-Smith just hit a 3 to put the Lakers up 1. Luka Doncic is at the free throw line, and he is going to put the Lakers up 2. 79-77 is the score right now with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
What were our picks on that series?
I had this is ugly.
This is
except for D'Lo, but I had Lakers in 5. Tone had Lakers in 6. D'Lo had Minnesota in 6. Kev had Lakers in 5. Kyson had Lakers in 6.
Oh, so yeah, if the Lakers win, we're all out of it.
Yeah. So this is.
Oh no, because yeah.
No,
no. If the Lakers win,
closest
D'Lo
at that point.
Yeah, D'Lo would win.
We're all out of it. D'Lo's alive. Yeah. Nasty work.
79-79, one with just a little under 90 seconds remaining in the game. But yeah, who's the biggest key in for the Rockets? I mean, who's the X factor? The guy that he has to play well in order for them to win. I think I'm gonna know I'm gonna know all your answers. Because I think it's obvious. But who? Yeah, Tone. Who's the X factor for the Rockets in order for them to actually have a chance to come back in this game?
I'm gonna have the craziest answer of everyone. It's gonna be Steph Curry. I don't think they actually have a guaranteed offensive threat. They're one of those teams to where it's different game to game. It was a crazy part of this game that I'm watching, and I was looking for Jalen. I'm like, where is Jalen Green at? And he wasn't even on the court. And the Rockets were still holding it down. And so I think that he is valuable to the team, but I even sent out added a story before the game. I had it incorrect, and I said Game 6, but it was Game 5. But there was a SportsCenter clip saying that Houston is what they're working on or looking forward in the summer. And I'm like, it's Game 5. Why would y'all even say this? What type of – you guys just trying to put pressure on Jalen Green? Like, why would you do that? And that can mess up your mind. I mean, if he shows out, then it shows that he's he's confident in himself, and he can live up to expectations. But he's been struggling. He's been either really on or really off. And it's weird because Houston has had some success with him being off.
Kev, who's the X factor in this series in order for the Rockets to come back?
I'm gonna get. Jalen Green was probably the obvious answer, but I'm gonna go with Şengün. He's been playing very good this series, but I think he might have to turn up another version of himself, almost Jokic-like, in order for them to pull it out. Only because with how Jokic just attracts so much attention on the offensive side of the ball, that's where Şengün can operate at. Where if Jalen Green can't create his own shot, catch and shoot. Same for Fred VanVleet. If Şengün can dominate the ball on the offensive side and start feeding these guys spotting up for the catch and three, I think they might be able to dominate Golden State only because Golden State doesn't have that one center to kind of like match up with Şengün. So I think it might be the X factor, if not Jalen Green.
Lo, who's the X factor, man? Who's the biggest piece in order for the Houston Rockets to come back and win the series?
Amen Thompson.
That's who I thought everybody was going to go with. I'm glad we all have different answers then.
Listen, and 5 steals in the first half. I think Steph didn't have a point until about 3 minutes left in the second quarter, because Amen was doing his thing, and if obviously you can't expect that every game. Going into this series in that regular season, we were all talking about that 3-point game that Steph had, and Amen was doing his thing. And if he can replicate something similar and he can keep Steph to a somewhat quiet night relative to Steph standards at home, I think that they have their best chance to win in Golden State that way. Because if Steph gets going, everyone else gets going, and then it just tumbles.
So would it be like under 20 points for Steph?
Yeah, I think if he is held
Yeah.
anywhere from 20 to 15, you're looking great.
You better win that game. You better win that game. The X
Well,
factor for me, is Fred VanVleet. You need a consistent second scorer, and I think Fred VanVleet can be that guy. He's experienced. He's been here before. He's played in big games. He had a very good game today, and he had a very good game in Game 5. He has to be. No, I'm sorry. This was Game 5. He had a very good game in Game 4. He has to be consistent, and he has to be that second offense. Alperen Sengun didn't even have a very good game today, and they won. It's because Amen Thompson was the best player on the floor. Period. If you have somebody to come along with Alperen Sengun, the Rockets will look very, very, very promising. That's and to you guys' point, you got to defend 30. You got to defend 30 in blue. If you don't, you will lose 10 times out of 10. Is the reason why they're down 3-2 right now. Got to defend 30. Other than that, you also have to put the ball in the basket when he doesn't. And so I think the guy to do that is Fred VanVleet. Now, quick little update before we move on to the next segment. Going into the fourth quarter, boys, if you could put your fours up for me. If you could put your fours up for me. Thank you, Kevin. The Minnesota is up 81-80 going into the fourth quarter. Rudy Gobert is having a game. He's got 24 points, 16 rebounds. Luka Doncic has 25, 7, and 7. This is going to come down to the stretch, and it's looking like a good.
Shout out my homie real quick. When the game started and he seen that the Lakers were going small ball, he was pissed off. He said, "Damn, I should have bet Rudy Gobert was going to have a 2020 night." Rudy's going to have one.
I was going to say, Ricky had texted me the same thing. He said, "Dude, Rudy's going to have a career night. He's going to have the best night of his career."
I don't know if you guys saw the halftime show with Shaq and them. Someone tweeted Rudy looking like a prime Shaq right now, and Shaq was disgusted.
As he should be. As he should be. That's blasphemy.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. We got the new segment right now.
New segment. The new segment. So what you got for me?
New segment.
Oh, that fire joint you was talking about?
Yeah. Shout out Kev. Shout out Kev for the idea.
Hey, you're thinking, my brother.
Attaboy.
It's just not the hat rack, brother.
Oh. All right, hey Tom, why don't you go ahead and introduce us to the new segment, man?
Hey, man, we got Gumballs Goats, man. It's a special segment, special guy. Let's see what you got.
Honorable mention. So this is how it's gonna work. I have my 5 goats of the week. Now, week to week, it may change. Okay, week to week, it may change.
It should change.
Yeah. See, there you go. See, I should put Devin Booker at every spot. That's what I should do. But no, on a serious note, Gumballs Goats, it's going to be this week, for example, NBA playoff edition. Next week, it might be NFL draft. The following week, it might be Major League Baseball. Whatever it is. And the following, it might be college something, high school, whatever it is. It's going to be the athletes of the week in whatever sport it may be. Now, Tone is gonna drive this segment. He's gonna tell me to go from honorable mention to 5 to 4 to 3. Now he's gonna drive this segment. He's in the driver's seat. He's got the Rari going. And so now, hey, no graphic yet. Graphics on the way. Graphics on the way. But we do have music.
Alrighty. Honorable mention. Let's hear it. Who you got, Gumball?
Honorable mention. Oh, I gotta find it. Honorable mention. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham showcases leadership and clutch performance in Game 5 of the 2025 NBA playoffs. He exploded for 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists to lead the Pistons to a 106-103 victory over the Knicks, holding off elimination at least for one more game and narrowing the series to 3-2. His decisive free throws in the closing moments sealed the win, exemplifying his role as the cornerstone of Detroit's franchise, not only as the cornerstone of Detroit's franchise, but as one of the best young and up-and-coming players in the NBA. That is the honorable mention.
Wonderfully done, my guy. Now, 4,
At 5, Paulo Banchero. Paulo Banchero was absolutely amazing. Paulo, the 22-year-old sensation that has led the Magic to back-to-back playoff appearances, and although he did have to face the defending champs, he still put on one heck of a fight. He averaged over 29 points, and even though he came up short, the East better look out because Paulo Banchero and the Magic are a ticking time bomb to explode the top of the Eastern Conference. Paulo Banchero takes that number 5 spot.
Another great pick. Shout out Paulo, man. Shout out Paulo. Good work, Paulo. Yeah, we love him in the East, man. It's a great pick. We're on to
number 4. That boy in New York holding it down, Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's performance in Game 5 of the playoffs was a testament to his resilience and leadership despite battling a recurring ankle injury. He managed to contribute significantly before being sidelined during a critical stretch, during which the Knicks' deficit grew from 2 to 6 points. His commitment to the game shows how pivotal his role is in the Knicks' playoff journey, and they won't succeed without number 11 in his shoes and is healthy. That is my number 4.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. This list is like fire already, bro. All right. Liking it. Let's see who got the number 3.
Number 3. My dog is going to be happy about this one, man. He wears 0 in the green, man. Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum delivered a commanding performance in Game 5, going off for 35 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds to lead the Boston Celtics to a decisive victory, 120-89 over the Orlando Magic, clinching the series 4-1. He was the best player in the series. He was fantastic. I know he missed the game, and it is what it is. He came back and absolutely showed out. His leadership and clutch play throughout this series have solidified his role as the cornerstone in the Celtics playoff push. Yes, I give him a lot of help because, my dog is a Celtics fan. Jason Tatum is the real deal. He's the real deal. And the Celtics go as far as he goes. And if he keeps playing well, they're going to go back-to-back this year as the defending champion. So, number 3 is Jason Tatum.
Man. Woo. Appreciate that, man. First time I think I ever heard you speak highly of that. Professional, move right on, man.
Gotta give credit where it's due.
Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2. That gentleman that played a little bit earlier tonight, now it's a little awkward. He didn't play very well. Stephen Curry. The ageless chef Steph Curry continues to make history in the 2025 NBA playoffs, becoming one of 4 NBA players of all time, 35 years or older, to score at least 126 points through their team's first 4 postseason games, joining legends like Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His leadership and clutch performances have propelled the Warriors, now to a 3-2 series lead over the Rockets, showcasing his brilliance on the court. He just continues to deliver even at the age of 72. This guy just never ages, man. He's on the court, he's performing well, and he is the reason why the Warriors, I believe, will win this series and close it out at home in Game 6. Number 2, Steph Curry.
And yeah, so your final pick, man. It's the top of the mountain.
Number 1. Number 1, we have that boy who is currently on the court right now, Anthony Edwards. He has been the best player in the world in the playoffs so far. Ant-Man has showed his Jordan-esque qualities in the playoffs and showing them once again against one of the greatest of all time and one of the greatest of today, and is quickly proving he is also one of those greats today. He just continues to put on a show as he is right now. He had a very good third quarter and is currently tied right now in the fourth quarter. He's been able to play well, especially when it matters most. I gave him some hell last year for not being ready to play in the conference finals. I believe if they make it there again, it'll be a different conversation. I think he'll put up a much better fight. I think he'll be ready to go. Number 1 of Gumball's GOATs. Yes, it hurts me a little bit for what he did to me last year. It hurts. But my number 1 right now is Anthony Edwards.
Man, I have to say that's a fire segment, that guy. And yeah, I was like, he's keeping it real professional. He is not the biggest AE fan. So shouts out to AE for putting in enough work to congratulated by Maul.
So, to recap, honorable mention, of course, Cade Cunningham, but number 5, Paulo Banchero, number 4, number 4, Jalen Brunson, number 3, Jason Tatum, 2, Stephen Curry, and 1, the best player in the world currently right now playing, who at least been playing the best, Anthony Edwards. Tone, hey, you started off, man. What'd you think of Gumball's GOATs?
Again, fire segment. Great idea. Shout out to the man with the plan and the pan. I'm still a little, caught in the moment. Pause. Like,
No, right.
I'm saying, like, you got my guy over Brunson. Like it's not just the fact that he made the list, but he was over JB. And JB been balling again. So like, if I'm being honest, I feel like they are like it's real close. Jason Tatum, I think, is averaging a little bit more, but JB been balling, and so I appreciate it. The list is tough. AE is right where he should be. It's kind of weird not hear a Luka Doncic on your list, no Jokic on your list. It's interesting.
Giannis.
Yeah, he went home though. He went home already, so
I mean, Paolo went home too, but Paolo went home. That's why I'm like, Giannis is not on there. Come on now.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But Paulo, you got I can't even lie. You got a great point there. Hey, but it's Small's list, man. But it was again dope idea, dope list. You had some dudes who had some great weeks. I guess the only questionable one for me would have been why Steph is so high, but he has had some good games. But just as a whole series, Steph's still rolling, and some guys have already sent some dudes home. So that's the only one. But great list.
D'Lo, what would you change? What would you keep? Who would you put in? With Gumball's GOATs.
Yeah, I just think, like what Tone said, I think Steph is a little too high. Just not because he hasn't been great, but because the other guys have just been that much better, right? JT, ever since he came back from that wrist, has not had a game under 35. If I stand corrected, I think he went 37, 35, and 36, all back to back to back, right? JB, up until just last game, where I think he only had 13 or something like that, was phenomenal. Cade, gotta have him there. He's kept the series more interesting than I thought it was going to be. But I think the only guy that I would have thought I would seen on here was Giannis. I know that they lost, but definitely not his fault.
Kev, what would you change? What would you keep on Gumball's GOATs?
It's like, to quote what D'Lo said, Giannis was on the list. That's why I was a little surprised. I was waiting to see his name being called. I think Ant, number 1, is probably the best pick. He's been balling the whole series. Steph is a bit too high. I feel like you probably could have taken Steph off that list. I know he's still in the playoffs still, but you probably could have put Giannis at 2 or Joker at 2, and I wouldn't have been mad at that as well. So I think the Joker, Giannis, just those two guys missing on the top 5. I think I might have just add them and taken out maybe Paolo and Steph, only due to the fact that Paolo has been good, but I think Giannis has just been balling, and he's been carrying his team like every night.
Yeah, I have to give credit to Maul. Giannis played against Indiana. Paolo played against Boston.
And now I'll explain. I'll explain my list and why I put everybody where I did. Cade, I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, aside from Jason Tatum, every other player was the lower seed. And Jalen Brunson, every other player was the lower seed, and they were playing, and they're playing the best competition. Cade Cunningham was the lowest seed. He's the lower seed, and he's balling right now. Without him, they don't win that series. They don't even have a chance in the series. And he's doing everything for that team. He's averaging, I had it written down somewhere. He's averaging
25 and 8.
25, 8, and 8.
He's the third player to ever do that in their first 5 games in the postseason. Third to Oscar and Luka. I was like, man, that's huge right there.
I had to grab my notes. See, look at me, just irresponsible. And when you look at Jalen Brunson, he's averaging 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists on one leg. And again, without him, they're not winning this series that they're playing against the Pistons. Paulo, I love the fight that he put up. I mean, you're playing against, what a lot of people think could be the best team in the league, also could be the back-to-back champions, and is the reigning defending NBA champions. And he put up a fight like that. He took a game from them. He took a game from the Celtics.
Damn near by himself.
By himself. He had little to no help. Franz was good. He was inconsistent. Paulo had to do everything, and he was able to take a game from them. So I love what he showed. And Jason Tatum that's just. That's
pretty self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. Yeah. I mean, he averaged 31, 11, and 5 on 60% true shooting. 60% true shooting from the field. That is ridiculous. He also played through injury. He played through a wrist injury on his shooting hand.
And he turned it into a celly too. I know y'all seen it.
And he turned it into a celly. Jason Tatum.
Seen it.
Jason Tatum.
And then he 13 for 17 or something like that. Craziness. 4 for 5 from 3.
He did what he was supposed to do. And because that's who he is. He's the top 5 player in this league. He just did. And Steph, listen, the biggest reason why I had Steph in the spot that he was one, he's a 7 seed playing a 2 seed. I understand this. I understand what people are saying. It's the Rockets, and the Rockets are still the 2 seed in a heavily contested Western.
Are they really a 7 seed?
That
got to be late.
Huh? They did, but that's when they won like 11 games in a row.
Yeah. So are they still a 7 seed? Because they if they had Jimmy all season, that
may not be the case. But in the seedings, it says that they're a 7 seed playing a 2 seed. Now they were the 5 seed at one point with Jimmy Butler and fell back down to the 7 seed.
True.
And for what Steph has been able to do, I mean, he's averaging 26, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and Houston is one of the best defensive teams in the association. He did have to play a game without Jimmy Butler, and he won that game. FYI, he won that game without Jimmy Butler. And he's 37. He's 37 years old.
Old man.
And he's playing at this level.
Oh, you don't gotta say 37 like that.
He's that.
He's
the oldest. He's older than everybody in this podcast right now.
Yeah, but when you look at NBA timelines, 37 is old. 37 is real old. Not everyone can play like a Steph or a LeBron at that age.
Saturday. I hope you pull up on Saturday.
Whoa!
What?
I don't know.
Hold on, drive and pull up. I didn't say pull like.
See, there you go. See, you go.
Oh my
What?
God! No
What are you talking
May I remind everyone, these two got into a little bit of a fight the last time they played hoops against each other.
I'm not good. I'm 40 plus.
That's the truth.
I make people get emotional.
Now I don't recall, but I do have footage that's coming out very, very soon of me beating Tone in the 3-point contest.
Yeah, I want y'all to remember this.
I do have footage.
The viewers, all the consistent viewers. Maul only remembers when he wins.
Whoa! I remember what's on footage. That's what I remember. I remember what's on camera.
So the times that you lost, it was just no camera whatsoever.
I
always
lose? I don't know.
For those. Well, I will say we made a bet where we play a horse on camera, Yeah, he's yet to actually fulfill his. Yeah, that's another story.
Bro, they showed
This is
Rudy
for the game,
Gobert
man.
I don't
highlights
know.
in a
I think that footage got deleted.
in a closer. Rudy Gobert highlights in a closing game in LA. That's why I never thought I'd see today.
Speaking of which, update on that game. Minnesota is now up by 2, 87-85, with 7:10 remaining in the game. Luka Doncic did just make a free throw though to make it a 1-point game, and has one more.
Can I ask a wicked question before we move on? I think I've already asked this, but anxious to hear how you guys feel about it day and day that we watched Luka and Braun. Is this a stain at all? Does this tarnish their legacy?
No, I think we also have to put into context is Luka Doncic got traded at the trade deadline. He didn't have a training camp. He didn't have a full season with the Lakers. He was also hurt a lot of the year.
Is that not a stain? Is that not a stain on his legacy?
No.
Being traded at the deadline, being a top 5 player in the league that's traded. How many players could say that, I'm top 5 in the league and they traded me? I didn't ask for out. They traded me.
Luka, again, in my opinion, is a top 5 basketball player in this league.
Chris Paul would have been that if David Stern wasn't being old stingy.
Give me
God rest his soul.
Did y'all hear the man? He just put Tatum in his 5, and now you got. Oh, my forgot you had Embiid in your top 5, so yeah, you had space.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to point out Rudy has 25 and 20. Like that's just crazy to me.
They're playing small.
And he just got a block.
He has 2. When LeBron started at center for them.
Luka has been fantastic in this game, man. He's been really good. Now, let's actually move on. Before, I think when it comes to about 3 minutes in the game, I think we'll just watch the game and react to it in real time.
Finney Smith is fouled out.
No, everyone's on different timing. I don't know what you got going on, but I got something else going on.
Yeah. How Kevin always like 30 seconds ahead of everybody?
Kevin's really good with technology.
Yeah, Kevin built his own Wi-Fi to get the game.
That's why his phone's blurry, because he's working on that.
Because he's using all the Wi-Fi on the TV.
He put all his Wi-Fi into the TV.
And can't get no clear picture on his phone.
Yo, what brand is your television, Kevin?
It's a Samsung.
Oh yeah.
It's OD.
Didn't even have I didn't even have to guess. I knew it.
Hey man, all right, let's move on. Let's talk about some other NBA news while we wait for this game to wind down into the really, really, really technical clutch time of the game. We talked about it a little bit earlier. We talked about the Giannis trade rumors. Let's expand on that a little bit. If Giannis were to get traded, where is the best landing spot? You know what? Let's do this first. Let's do where's the best landing spot and where's the most realistic landing spot for Giannis, Tone.
It was crazy. I was actually talking about this earlier, and I'm like, I could see some wild 3-team trade to where KD ends up in like a Houston, Giannis ends up in like Phoenix or Miami or LA, and LeBron ends up in the Warriors, and then Jimmy ends up. Yeah, just swap everybody up. No, but honestly, I think it would be dope. The fact that if we actually see LeBron and Steph have a first-round exit, I think that they would seriously consider figuring out a way to join forces. Because, being honest, I can't see either one of them getting over the hump next year. And so I feel like they try to figure out a way to turn some turnstiles. And I feel like Giannis will have to finagle into one of those other environments, which if LeBron goes to the Warriors, then he might find his way over there with Luka. And that'll be woo-wee. But I do think if he does leave, he goes to a big market. Like he doesn't find himself in like a Brooklyn or I think he goes to a big market.
Or Memphis.
Spurs. Yeah, I don't think he goes to a Memphis.
D'Lo, where's the best and most realistic possibility for Giannis to end up in?
This is tough. What do I think the best spot is? I think the best spot for him is actually Golden State.
You beat me to it.
Playing next to Steph. I don't know what they would give up to get him. I'm pretty sure that is super unrealistic. But stick Giannis next to Steph, and I don't know if there's a better duo anywhere. The most realistic, and I really hate to see, I hate to say it so much because they are already so stacked. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think is the most realistic place for them. The amount of picks that they have to just spend is blasphemous. And looking at the young guys, they got some young guys that they can throw in there too.
I think the bigger question with the Thunder is, would they want to go after Giannis?
No, see that I don't know. But if you're talking the most realistic and who can put together the best trade package for Giannis in terms of Milwaukee accepting that package,
Well,
the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Let me specify it a little bit. When I say realistic, I mean if you had a bunch of money and said you got to put money down on a team that Giannis will end up next.
Oklahoma City,
Really?
Yes.
Like you think Oklahoma City would give up give up some of their assets to go get Giannis?
I could see it happening. If they don't win this year, what's stopping them?
He's the most valuable asset on the board.
And clearly, if they don't make it out of the West, in particular, then it's a major issue. If they make it to the finals and they lose to a Boston or a Cleveland, sure, yeah, maybe you run it back. But if they don't make it out of the West or they get swept in the finals, I think that they need a piece. And if you're Sam Presti, why can't that piece be Giannis?
Kev, where's the best and most realistic landing spots for Giannis?
Well, D'Lo actually beat me to it. I was thinking about Golden State. I think just him over there, phenomenal. I think him and Steph would kill it. My second pick, if that was to get picked, I was gonna say the Spurs. And I think I see Tones over there, and I think just him and Wemby, that's a scary force to see every single game. And I think it works well if because they have the assets to give up for someone like a Giannis. Also with draft picks, and they have a lot of cap space too. It's not like they have a lot of guys that are Wemby's still on his rookie contract, or he is, right? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And so if you're San Antonio, you're not a big market team, but you're also looking at your team. You have two guys, Fox and Wemby are your core guys. I would say Vassell too, but if Vassell needs to get traded for Giannis, you go for it. I think that right there would be a fun trade to see, and I feel like it would bring terror to the league. Realistically, I would say a team like maybe New York, because they have guys like a McHale, like an OG, a Josh Hart. Even if a team like the Bucks want someone like Cat, you go for Giannis to team up with Brunson. I feel like that right there, like it's not like the Knicks really need him, but I feel like if they can't get past Boston, I feel like you bring in someone like a Giannis to take you over the hump and possibly win the finals.
You might be onto something, Kev. I don't like it.
I was the last one to go, so I had to really think about the whole situation.
Kev might be onto something, and I don't like it, especially if the Knicks don't find a way to win this series.
Yeah. I think the Knicks are a very, very, very interesting landing spot for Giannis.
The team structure, that's crazy. Catch the floor and him and JB pick and rolling. Oh my God, I hate that.
That'd be fun to watch. But the scary part for me is that Kevin Durant was supposed to be the biggest trade story in the offseason. If Giannis now takes that spot, he is obviously the hotter commodity, which means teams like Houston who could lose in the first round, teams like the Knicks who could lose in the second round, teams like Oklahoma City. Now, then I don't think Oklahoma City is going to make a move. I think they're going to make it to the finals, but teams just that could take away. Now, it could work two ways. It could work. Okay, Houston trades for Giannis. Okay, Houston loses to the Warriors. They go in the offseason, trade for Giannis. Okay, now that Houston is no longer a destination for KD. Okay, well, the Knicks have to make a move because they just lost to the Celtics in the second round, and they need a piece to get them over the hump to go and try and beat Boston. Now they have no choice but to trade for Kevin Durant. As much as I would like to say Giannis, I don't think Giannis fits that Houston core. As much as I would like to say Houston, I don't think Giannis fits that Houston core very well. Honestly, I don't even like Oklahoma City in that fit. I think I agree with Kevin, man. I think the Knicks are probably the best possible fit for Giannis. There might be, I think Golden State would be another good one to run with Steph.
It's a big market team. I mean,
again, yeah, it's a big market. That's if one of the biggest, if not the biggest market team in the league. It's between them, maybe Boston and the Lakers. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. So I think the Knicks will probably. I'm with Kevin, man. I think the Knicks will probably be the best trade destination for Giannis. Speaking of those Knicks,
question. Hold on before we move on. I just have to question one thing that you said. You don't think Giannis would fit in Oklahoma City?
No.
Why?
First of all, he can't shoot. Everybody, literally, aside from Isaiah Hartenstein, can shoot on that team.
That's why he would work. He literally.
That's why he would run.
But
the five.
Who are you? You also have to realize they are going to give up a lot. They're going to give up Lou Dort. They're going to give up Caruso. They're probably going to give up Isaiah Joe.
They got
with the amount of picks that they have.
Milwaukee is going to want young players. They don't just want picks. So they're going.
When you're talking 7-8 picks that they could just blow through,
that literally cannot happen. That's not allowed. The most amount of actual first round picks you can give up is 4, and then 5 is a first round pick swap.
So you don't think that's enough?
No, they're going to want young players.
It depends on what. It depends on what, because you got to think they have to hit the button. Like, it's evacuate. Like, they might even try to get off of Dame's contract, knowing that he's not even it's downhill for Bucks. Reset. So I don't know how many players they want. They might want to draft before they want players.
No, I guarantee you they're going to want, if you're trading a piece like Giannis, a top 5 player in the league, you are going to want more than just picks back. You're going to want young players who can help you grow somewhat, because now the draft is where you go and get your guy. You go and get your guy.
Yeah, guys, that's what I'm like. I don't think
but again, you're going to need pieces. You're going to need pieces to build around said guy. So again, they're going to want Caruso. They're going to want Isaiah Joe. They're going to want Lou Dort. All of which can shoot the basketball. Which then leaves you with what? Case and Wallace. Now, obviously, you still have Jalen Williams, both Jalen Williams. You have Chet. You might still have Hartenstein. But they're going to want pieces no matter what. Every trade. Brooklyn, when they traded Kevin Durant, got back Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, as well as a bunch of those picks.
I feel like OKC has enough. Like, you could name 3 young players that they wouldn't lose a lot of depth if they picked up Giannis and then just scraps and out there in the season for 600,000 here, million here for the season. Guys that are just play when certain players are injured. I think OKC would be fine to still play an 8-9 man roster if they did.
I mean, okay, so if you trade the guys I just named, right? You trade Lou Dort, you trade Isaiah Joe, and you trade who's the other guy? Oh, Alex Caruso. In game 4 of their playoff series, Alex Caruso played 26 minutes, Isaiah Joe played 14, and Lou Dort played 28. 3 key pieces.
Yeah, you feel
in the
feel that
rotation.
hole with Giannis and 2 other dudes like a Finney
Who?
Smith, how the Lakers picked up late. They'll find somebody.
I don't know. I don't think Oklahoma City is going to be willing to give up that much, especially how
For
well.
Giannis?
Yeah.
But how do you
Yeah.
feel about the Spurs? What that brought up earlier? Then
The Spurs is interesting. I think it gives them they're going to be one of the biggest teams in the league if they're running a starting lineup with Giannis and Wemby. I just don't think the Spurs believe they're a Giannis away from competing. So I don't think they would do it either.
Do the Knicks even still have picks to give up? I'm not following Knicks picks here, but they just
That's a
gave
good
up
point.
5 for McHale. So I don't even know if they have the number of picks that Milwaukee will want.
That's a good point.
So if they don't have those picks, they have to give up both McHale and OG and probably another player to compensate for that. I think that hinders them more than the success that they will get back.
You want to know another sneaky team? If they lose in the second round,
Indiana.
Minnesota. If they get another, if they lose again in the second round, and you put another star like Giannis alongside Anthony Edwards,
Gobert Randall for sure gone.
Oh, Gobert would be gone. You'd have to get you want to get rid of that contract. I think Minnesota could be another sneaky team. But
You want to update?
right,
I was about to say update.
yeah. Let's a minute and 5 seconds remaining in the game. Minnesota is up 100-94. All right, yeah, let's close out the show by closing out the game. Let's reacting to.
This is sad, man. I'm about to cry, man. Braun got about a good solid year left, man.
LeBron. Gabe Vincent for 3. Oh yeah, this game might be over. I think this game is over.
Yeah,
they're fouling now.
Sir Reynolds rap.
They need, they needed this. They needed that 3 from Gabe Vincent. They needed
That's
it badly.
crazy. Back-to-back years, huh?
Back to back. No, when did the Lakers lose last year?
No, I'm talking about back-to-back years of Ant taking down the previous legends of this era.
Oh yeah. At least LeBron got a game. Yeah, this game is over, fellas. Now, you know what? Okay, now that this game is now again, it's not over, but it's 101-94 with 38 seconds left. Minnesota is up. Julius
Yeah,
Randle
that's
has
plenty
21.
of time. I know we all watched that Pacers Bucks game. They were down 118-111, and Indiana rattled off 8 straight.
The Lakers don't even look like they want it, though.
It ain't over until it's over.
All right, they're gonna go to commercial real quick. If now it looks like when the Lakers lose tonight, their season is now over. Does LeBron come back?
I just told you where he was getting traded. You wasn't listening?
No, we're traded. We're getting traded to.
He said he's going to Golden
That
State.
game where they get in Florida, where they put the little ball of paper under the cups and they go.
Mm-hmm.
I just did. You wasn't paying attention.
You did say he was going to Golden State. Listen, I thought he'd be done after next year. I think he's done. I think LeBron is losing this game. I think he loses this game, and I think he calls it quits. I mean, what else does he have to prove? He still has.
You don't think he does a farewell tour?
No.
That's what I'm like. There's no way he ends it. We don't get the tour. Oh,
I
you
think
know how
we do.
selfish that would be.
LeBron.
I think
I don't think LeBron is that type of. I mean, LeBron is one of the two greatest players ever. Now, where you have him is obviously varies, but LeBron is one of the two greatest players ever. I don't think he needs a farewell tour.
No, we gave Kobe, we gave everyone in the last
D Wade as
years
well.
a tour.
Again, those guys are not on LeBron's level.
Yeah, so why would LeBron? This
LeBron,
man went on
I'm-
TV and told you he was just being traded or picking up packed his bags.
I'm talking about LeBron the individual. I don't think he necessarily feels like he needs a farewell tour.
Pay attention.
No, I don't think so.
The man who has a podcast, another showroom where he hosts.
Exactly. He already gets attention.
Yeah, all of these things are to create more attention for himself. Also,
I mean, 'cause they're not going to compete. What is he playing for? So literally a farewell tour.
against the Ghost.
No,
Okay,
LeBron is not going to play if he's not competing.
Who knows? What if this farewell tour brings him another chip? Imagine
Again,
all the stories and
What are the chances? Let's be realistic. What are the chances LeBron wins another championship?
That's why I said he's going to Golden State. So him and Steph will finally do it. It turns the turnstiles. It brings a lot of attention. It's just something for us to talk about next season that we could have never talked about, like father and son type of situation. I don't see him. I don't see, especially. I'm sorry, but I'm starting to agree with people. I don't think Luka plays championship basketball. He needs things he needs to work on in order for him to be a champion. And at 40 years old, it's much more difficult for LeBron to be a Robin.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not realistic that he competes for a championship next year unless he goes and gets traded to Oklahoma City. There's no way he competes for a championship next year. It's just not. And so I don't think LeBron now again, obviously
Is
LeBron
he on a 1 year or is he got a
2 year.
player?
I think he's got a player option. No, he's got a player option. So a 2-year, but player option in the second year.
Yeah, so can he opt this year or does he opt next year? That's what I'm asking.
Let me find out actually.
Because that's a big part. He could always opt out.
yo Tones. Imagine Brown and KD goes to go and stay with Steph, and they just get one more chip in.
Yeah, I really don't know if KD would do it. But I will say the toughest part for me is that they would need a KD-like player, but because you can't have Draymond and LeBron in a starting lineup and for it to be top tier effective, like championship effective, it's just not enough shooting. You know what I'm saying LeBron's not that level of a catch and shoot type of player. So they would need a Kevin Durant. They would need KD to play the 3, LeBron to play the 4, and him and Draymond to switch and swap. But
Real quick, it has gone final. The Minnesota Timberwolves win the game 103-96 and kick LeBron out of the playoffs in the first round for the second time.
Oh yeah, how you gonna say Braun and you've been preaching Braun's the Robin of the series? That's crazy. You just waited 5 shots at. That's crazy.
He was waiting for it.
Waiting. You got a timer just waiting.
That is kind of nasty work.
The whole series, he been saying that somebody else was the better person in the series, right?
He wants the Lakers fans to know what it feels like how he felt last year.
F the Lakers. God, I hate the Lakers. Now, D-Lo, to answer your question, he does have a player option this season.
Okay, so he can't opt out and technically go anywhere if he so chooses.
That is exactly correct.
Yeah, he's going to go
I think that plays a big factor in whether he retires or not.
I think he's done. There's no reason for him to compete anymore. He has nothing else to prove. He in my opinion, he is the second greatest player of all time. and that's quite frankly, no matter what he does, I don't think that's going to change.
He can get 45,000 next year, right?
But again, you already have the most points of all time. I don't like. There's not like now we're like you see how we're stretching and trying to like give him reasons to play. He has nothing left to play for, and if you don't realistically have a chance to compete for a championship, what are you playing for at the age of 41?
Himself. So you think about what Mike accomplished at this age, and what we're trying to compare what LeBron's doing to Mike. He knows 20 years from now, it's going to be an Anthony Edwards, a Jason Tatum, or Wembanyama, or somebody they're going to try to compare to him. And so if he can attach another accolade, another achievement to that, that's another thing that somebody else has to catch.
LeBron's ego is huge. LeBron's ego is the size of Africa. I don't think it's the size of Europe. I don't think it's the size of Europe. I don't think his ego is that big to where I don't want any of these kids to catch me. Because realistically, you're going to have to play 22 years, average more than 22, 23 points a game for every year of your career in order to catch LeBron. Do I see that happening? Yeah, eventually. Anytime soon? Or anybody that's even in the league currently? No. Because you have to stay consistently healthy. While you're healthy, again, you would have to score 23, 24 points a game every single season, at least, in order to even even dream of catching LeBron. I don't think LeBron's ego is that big. I think he's done this year.
26.9. You want to be exact.
Huh?
LeBron averages 26.9.
Oh, he dropped? He was always at 27 for a while.
Said 27. Let's say 26.9.
But again, I don't like there's no reason for him to be playing anymore.
The only reason he would play is if he ring chases his final year.
But again,
and I don't see LeBron doing that. I think if he were to do that, it would probably, in a lot of people's eyes, stain the legacy that he's built. Because now he is just ring chasing to catch people. He's not being the guy to go get it, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people will see it that way.
Literally anything he does now can only hurt him. It can only hurt his legacy. Only everything LeBron does now, from now until he decides to call it quits, can only hurt him. He has one of the greatest legacies in sports history. There is no reason for him to be playing. None.
So when do we know exactly when an NBA player calls it quits during the offseason?
Whenever they say.
It's LeBron. You'll know.
Yeah, I was gonna say whenever he decides to tell people whether he's coming back or not.
No, because I'm just asking. There's like a specific like timeline, like a month or whatever, like exactly.
Probably like a month before preseason.
No. The day before. Hey, I don't feel well. I'm gonna retire. No, I think the Lakers might give him. Now again, it's LeBron, so they might not. But the Lakers might give him a timeline. They might give him by August 17th. You have to let us know what you're doing. Or no, I think even before that, because they're gonna want to go
be earlier.
I think they'll know before moves. I'd imagine that there'll be a conversation that we're not privy to. That the Lakers, like you said, like the Lakers will need to know. All right, do we need to make trades? Do we need to go find certain pieces? And exactly. LeBron's a part of that conversation, the same way Luka's obviously a part of that conversation now. And so they're gonna say, all right, we need to know if you're going to be here so we can go get this piece or get rid of this or this piece. But I think we'll figure it out because we'll start to see certain things happening. And we're like, oh, okay, well, they're not going to get a power player, so LeBron's probably staying.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's exactly what's happening. So I just that's the biggest. I think he's done, man. He has nothing left to play for. He has nothing left to prove. And if he thinks that, he can only hurt his legacy. He can only hurt his legacy.
Take right there, Maul.
That I think that I honestly that's what I believe. I think if he continues to play, he can only hurt his legacy. He is one of the two greatest players to ever play this game of basketball. He lost again. He lost in the first round. It's okay. Anthony Edwards is very damn good. He only can hurt his legacy. I don't think he has anything to play for. His career is done. I think he calls it quits. And I think the Lakers will have no problem saying, hey, thank you for coming here. You won us a championship. You got us to 17. We appreciate you. Goodbye. Sayonara. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
I think it kind of depends on what team he goes to, too. I mean, if he goes to Dallas to reunite with Kyrie one last time, or he goes to Golden State because he's always wanted to play with Steph, I don't think that hurts. Just because it's kind of like his situation with Bronny and how he wanted to stay until Bronny got there, and he did that. I don't think that would hurt him in any way if he went to a team like that.
Sorry, let me real quick. The only team he can go to in which I don't believe will hurt his legacy is Cleveland.
Cleveland. I knew you were going to say it too.
The only team he can go to in which will not hurt his legacy is Cleveland. Because if you go anywhere else, if you go play with Dallas, if you go to Golden State, why? There's literally no reason. If you want to go back to Cleveland for your farewell tour, fine. That's where you started your career. That's where you can end your career. But there's and you can compete for a championship there.
He's definitely not going anywhere that has a winter. I can put money on that.
And that's another thing. You also have to take into consideration where he goes. Why would he want to leave LA? He's built everything in LA for the past decade. His family lives in LA. His youngest daughter is still in school. Bryce is going to U of A. He's 6 hours away from Tucson. Maybe
exactly why you don't think Golden State would be on the table.
No,
it's not that far.
That's the reason why.
It's honestly not that far.
I think the only place he goes to, and if he decides to stay in the league, if LeBron decides to stay in the league, the only place he goes to in which he doesn't hurt his legacy is Cleveland. I think if he goes anywhere else, there's no point. If you go to Golden State, you're not winning a championship. At the age of 41, playing alongside another guy that's 38.
Quick question though, does it really hurt his legacy, like real life, or is it just the trolls that are gonna go? Because you look at his career, it's pretty much in stone, no matter what he does.
Can I ask you a question? When people bring in the Jordan and LeBron debate, when people bring up longevity, what is one of the most consistent arguments against Jordan? Oh, he was awful with the Wizards. He was all that. He was terrible.
He wasn't awful with the Wizards.
He just wasn't as good as LeBron is.
He just wasn't Bull MJ.
So he should. I say the same thing about Jordan. He should have hung it up when he had the chance.
He should have hung it up at the last dance.
Well, I'll say this. I think that for the people, it's tough because there were kids that didn't understand who Michael Jordan was. Like you just at 7, 8 years old, you watching something, it's a difference between when you're 11, 13. And so if you got to see Mike in the Wizards jersey, there was a level of appreciation that, some people.
No.
I guaranteed it.
Is he? He's still there? Oh, attaboy. Okay.
Attaboy, Tone. You froze.
Yeah.
You had a massive froze. Yeah. You continue.
Oh, it's weird. But yeah, I just think that there's still people who would appreciate Braun no matter what path he takes in the future. Like, of course, I think there'll be the trolls and the haters. But when I look at what Kevin Durant's doing right now, I feel like, of course, the trolls are talking bad, and they're all on IG and Instagram and Twitter, whatever the case may be. talking bad about him. But I'm like, what KD's giving the game and what he's still doing is dope. Like, he's not the best player ever. He's not the second best player ever, but he's one of the greatest scorers I've ever seen. He's 36, 37 years old, averaging 26, 27 points, which is what, top 15 in the league. And so I'm like, I don't think it's tarnishing his legacy. And so I can't, I don't know. Same thing with Steph Curry. Like, I just don't see it. And just because LeBron happens to be the second best basketball player of all time, he gets held to a, yeah, he does kind of get held to a different standard.
Yeah, I was gonna say he definitely does.
I think there's a difference though in that KD has something to prove still. And the stain on his legacy is that he has not been able to win outside of Steph Curry. That's the stain with KD.
Is that a
Um,
stain?
it is a stain.
I think he's
I don't
supposed to be known as a Batman.
He will forever be known as a Robin unless he gets.
Hold on,
He's a Robin who got Finals MVP.
Hold on, just 1 second.
He will forever be known as that.
He has never been a Robin, not one time in his entire career.
He has not won outside of Golden State with a
He
super
has
team.
never been a Robin a single time in his career.
He has not won outside of Golden State
But he's won, correct?
with a super team.
Did he win?
He did.
Did he win once?
He won twice.
Was he the Finals MVP both times?
Mm-hmm.
Was he the best player in the series both times?
Mm-hmm. Has he done it since?
No, he hasn't.
Has he done it without Steph?
A stain? A stain.
A stain.
A stain would be never winning at all. A stain on Carmelo Anthony's career is never winning the big
It's
big
an-
chip.
it's an
A stain
asterisk
on Chris
on-
Paul's career is never winning a championship.
No, it's an asterisk on Kevin Durant's career that he wasn't capable of winning a championship without hunting for it. He had to go and ride someone else's wave. But I will say that he was the best player on the teams that he won championships on. But I do
He
agree,
was.
but I do agree that it's tainted. It is, there's an asterisk on it because again, he had to ride someone else's wave. It's hard to even compare because I don't think there's anyone of KD's caliber that did this before. But it'd be like if Kobe got to the finals before Shaq went there. Honestly, like, I don't really even have. I mean, it's like if Barkley got a championship when he went to Houston. Like, he went and rode someone else's wave. He didn't do it on his own.
Nobody does it on their own though.
Some people, like Steph Curry, did technically. That's what they mean by that. It's like, I didn't go join someone else's team to win a championship. I stayed here and we figured it out. Kevin Durant didn't do that.
Okay, so is it a stain on LeBron's? Is it a stain
Yeah.
on LeBron's legacy? Is it a stain on LeBron's legacy that he couldn't win a championship in Cleveland his first go round, so he had to go leave and join join somebody else's team? Hold on, I'm not done. Join somebody else's team to go win a championship because we all know that was not his basketball team, but yet he was the Batman. So is it a stains on LeBron legacy that he had to leave Cleveland because he couldn't get it done there and go join somebody else's team?
It would have been if he had not came back and then got one.
But he still had to leave. He still
But
had to leave.
they still have the same conversation though. You can admit that. They still have
had
the same conversation about
it's-
LeBron.
They did. And then he went in 2016 and now you will not you don't hear it
Different.
anymore.
Is that he actually did it.
He did it. He went back and he won. That eliminated it. That eliminated the conversation.
It did.
Can you have it? Can you have the convo? Of course you can. But now everyone has this defending point of, well, he did it in 2016 and he did it against the best record team ever.
I understand that,
Right?
but he still had to leave. He still had to. He went and joined somebody else's team.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
Listen. Okay. Listen to me. Listen good. If he would have stayed in Cleveland, never went to Miami. If he would have stayed in Cleveland, how many championships would LeBron have right now?
Hard to say. I can't tell you.
Can you definitively say he would have 4?
I can't say either way. I don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know who would have went to go join him.
We don't know who would have.
Exactly. That's my point. He had to leave. He had to leave because he could not get the job done.
Well,
and he didn't get. And
you're asking me a hypothetical that I can't answer.
Hold on. And even the first year he was in Miami to go join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, the first year he could not get the job done.
That's the main asterisk.
The same feeling that you have for LeBron is exactly what we're pointing out. It's just that you have it for Kevin Durant, but he never got it done by himself. It's the same. I agree with what you're saying, is there's an asterisk on LeBron. But then the fact that he did it after that, if you're a basketball enthusiast, you understand that LeBron said, okay, I'm going to go get it done now. I'm going to go by myself and get it done. And Kevin Durant has yet to do that.
But that's the point you're missing. So I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that LeBron, there's no asterisk next to LeBron. There's none.
There has to be an asterisk because it's the topic of every barbershop conversation is why did LeBron have to go? Why did he have to go to Miami to win a championship? Because he needed.
And it's very ironic coming from you, Mo, because every time we bring up the GOAT debate, that's what you like to bring up.
I bring up 2011,
Game 6. That
2011.
Is that not the year you're talking about?
No. Yes, that's the year I'm talking about. But I don't bring up the fact that he went to Miami. I'm bringing up the performance he had in Miami. I'm not bringing up the fact that he went to Miami. That has nothing to do with my conversation. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying, David. I'm bringing up the fact of how he performed in the finals. I'm not bringing up the fact that he went to Miami. I'm bringing up the fact that how he performed in the finals. I don't think there's an asterisk because he went to Miami. That's my point. I don't believe there's an asterisk in his career because he went to Miami. I believe there's an asterisk of the way he performed in the finals in 2011, his first year in Miami. That's my biggest point that you're not understanding. I don't care that he went to Miami. He went to Miami and won 2 championships and went to 4 finals. And he did not play well. And he did not play well in 2011. I don't care that he went to Miami. That's my point. That's my point.
Conversation off of LeBron joining a team right now, and you said that it would tarnish his career because he's basically championship hunting, right?
I don't think he would be championship. He's just because no matter where he goes, again, unless he goes to Oklahoma City or Cleveland or Boston, that would be championship hunting. If he goes to Golden State, there's no way they win a championship. They are not competing for a championship. So he has no reason to leave LA. No reason. And so for that reason, the only
LA's not going to win a championship. So why would you what do you mean? You think LA is going to win a championship?
No, that's why I'm saying he should be done. He should retire. That's my point. He
enjoys the game of basketball like Michael Jordan did. Michael Jordan literally said that he came back because he wanted to show people that he could still do it. They never seen him do it. He's like, I want to show him.
And again, that's there's no point. LeBron's been doing it for listen. The way that Jordan's career ended in Chicago and the way that LeBron's career would, if he were to be done after this year, the way that LeBron's career ends in Los Angeles are 2 completely different things. Jordan didn't like the management, so he left. He retired and came back and tried to show people that he could do it in Washington, and he was okay. He wasn't Michael Jordan. LeBron was still very good this year. He was still very good. He has no problem with Rob Pelinka. He has no problem with Jimmy Buss. He's just old. He's just old. And the only reason why he would come back and play, is to compete for a championship. He has nothing else left to prove. Yeah, if he wants to go for after 45,000 points, there's no point. There's no point to go after that.
Why not? He'll be the only player.
He's the only player who scored 40,000. And then once he hits 45,000, then people are going to say, oh, go after 50 and then go after 55. There's no reason. He's already the number 1 points all time scored all time. And now, And he's the only person to hit 40,000 points. There's no reason for him to go any higher than that. And he's year 22 going into his age 41 season. Again, his career should be done. He has no reason left to play.
Again, it should, and I understand your point, but when you look at it from a personal perspective, you don't think that he would want to go and play with Steph
No.
and have a chance to compete with Steph just to say that he's done it?
Compete
You
for
don't
what?
think
The oldest team of all time?
Just
to compete
compete.
for the oldest roster of all time.
I'm not saying they have to compete for a chip. I'm just saying they compete on the
That's the-
same floor.
Again, that we're saying that is fans. Yes, cool. Yeah, cool. It'd be cool to go see LeBron.
That'd be
play with Steph.
cool.
That'd be cool. I'm not. LeBron has been amazing. He has been, in my opinion, I say it all the time. He is the best athlete to ever touch a ball, track, field, whatever it is. He's the greatest athlete of all time, in my opinion. The only reason he would come back is to compete for a championship. He has no other reason to be competing. And I don't, just to go play with Steph away from his family. Again, let's not forget, he still has a daughter that's in middle school or elementary school that he wants to be there for. He still has a son that's going into college in Tucson. Sacramento is a whole lot different, 12 hours than 4. There is no reason for him to play unless he's competing for a championship, in which case I think he should call it quits. LeBron is already in a lot of people's eyes, the greatest player of all time. In my eyes, the second greatest player of all time. He has nothing left to prove. Nothing. And so for that, I don't think there's a point for him to come back. Hand off the keys to Luka.
We
think
get it.
that also he's proving that he's better. He's going to be the best person at this age, which just adds to. It's like Tom Brady. Tom Brady I'm sure Tommy didn't think he was going to win a championship every time he played after 40.
But again, there's he's the best player at any age aside from Michael Jordan. And it's a lot of people's eyes, he's the best player at any age he ever played.
He was the first person to 5,000, 10,000, 15, and so on and so on. He was the youngest player to that every amount of points. So it's hard to argue that he wasn't the best, just individual player.
Exactly.
But again, I think, honestly, part of it, I think he is that selfish. I think he is that into himself that, he is going to come back next year. I think he wants that legacy parade everywhere he goes. And,
he just might. I don't think there's a point for him to come back. He's accomplished everything he could possibly imagine.
All I'm going to say is shout out to a girlfriend of mine that's actually watching right now who just texted me saying there's a lot in it. There's a lot of money on the table.
his player
option.
A
lot of money on it.
I'm going to read the exact number of his player option. If he picks up his player option, $52,627,153.
It's a lot of money on it.
I think that's the most money that he's gotten a year in his NBA career.
And if he goes anywhere else, he's not making that money.
No. And he's a billionaire. He doesn't need the money. I promise he doesn't need the money.
Oh, when you're making billions, 50 million, you want it. All you got to do is show up. All you got to do is show up to work.
All you got to do is show up.
We all know that's not you're gonna have to work. That's another thing. Does he still want to work out every day? Does he still want to show up every day for meetings? Does he still want to go and travel?
I think part of it, again, I think he's that into himself. I think this is all part of who LeBron's greatness.
That brings me back to my point. Like, if you're doing it with someone that you really want to play with, it makes it easier.
I just don't see that happening.
You could see it that way.
Lo,
I see it my way, and we can agree to disagree.
I tell you to bet with him, Lo, but
yeah, he don't do nothing. Where's that one chip?
Incoming.
Where that one chip at?
Yeah, that was what? almost 3
You
months
work-
ago now.
You
I gotta
working
get
full
on that.
time now. I know you can afford it. Where that
No
one
one
chip at?
almost
See,
headed
there you
out.
go. See, there you go. See, there you go. Throwing my business out there. See, you ain't no good, David Largo. You ain't no
No.
good, David Largo.
No one was headed out. I just wanted to mention that the Red Sox are doing better than Diamondbacks.
Oh, Diamondbacks won today.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
The Diamondbacks won today.
Hey, shout out to the D-backs, man.
And the Red
I don't
Sox
watch
are doing better than
baseball,
Diamondbacks.
but I'll support the one Arizona team. Shout out to the D-backs.
You know what? Real quick before we end the show, let me just go ahead and actually see. Are they actually?
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna be
ahead.
really depressed.
What's our,
Yeah, they
what's
are.
Our, what's
They
our
are.
record? So maybe go put my Red Sox jersey on. What's our record? What's our record?
Thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed the show. Tone, can you name me?
Peace,
Can you
love,
name?
and
Can you name me
That's what
5
makes me
players
feel
in the Red
better.
Sox lineup?
This is what makes me feel even better. Is I can't do it, but I just know we're better. That's what I know. Is we are better.
He just know that team's from Boston and they have a better record. That's all he knows.
Thank you, Lo. And with that, we love, we cry.
Actually, no. We have the same winning percentage. We have the same winning percentage. We have the same winning percentage.
We have more wins.
Actually, no. We have a better winning percentage. We have a better winning percentage.
We have more wins.
No,
You
we're
can go ahead and start reaching in the
16
bucket.
We're 16
gonna
and
get
14.
bit
We
by
got
a
17 and
shark.
15. We have a better winning percentage.
Man, just be making stuff up.
Our winning percentage is 533. Your winning percentage 531.
Who has more wins?
Hey, we love y'all,
Who has
man.
less losses?
We love y'all, man. Hey,
Who has less losses?
Kev has been trying to get out of here for the past 20 minutes. He's fed up.
He's
already.
sleeping. That's sleeping. He took a screenshot and left it
Couldn't
on.
tell.
Yeah, Kev's out of here. Let's get us out of here, Mo. It's time.
All right, thank you all for watching. This is another fun show. Probably again went on way longer than it probably should have.
Subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Let us know what you think of bringing back something to chew on, and as well as Gumballs Goats. Let us know what you think of those 2 segments down in the comments.
I got something to think. Music just a tad bit too loud.
Was it?
I was going to share that after, but
Just a tad bit too loud.
I try
I'm
to
sure
be.
the people will agree.
Yeah, I think I agree too. I try to be. I thought so. I try to be louder than the music, but I don't know if I was.
You were
got
screaming.
there.
You were screaming.
Yeah, I'll have to lower that next time. That's all right.
Started to put the
Yeah.
business side on the pod, but
And you learn. Thank you all for watching. As always, if
Tomorrow,
nobody else is going to tell you,
Strictly Sons.
You especially, old man, I hate you. I'm not
geez,
proud
here
of
we
you.
go.
Um,
No, we're not doing all that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I do love him. It's all right. I love him. Yeah, it's okay. He may be old, he may be senile, but I love him. It's okay. Thank you all for watching. If nobody else is gonna tell you, I love you. I'm proud of you. You keep going every day. You have a purpose. What?
I'm saying squad, you know what I'm saying?
I thought you said aw, as of like it's cute.
Yeah, all too. The fact that he'd say he loved y'all, but he disrespect us every show.
Yeah, because
Crazy.
look at you guys. Look at you guys. He's just
Kev is so fed up. That man wants to get out.
Who
So
of you think
bad.
LeBron is like? All right, my bad. See, that's Tone fault. I blame Tone completely. All right, nobody else is gonna tell you. I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep going. You're amazing. What else? How else do I end the show? Oh, it's nice to be important. It's nice. See, Tone keeps. See, there you go. See, there you go.
Stop cutting him off, please.
It's nice to be important.
Nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. We'll be back sometime.